I gently open my eyes. I grab my phone to look at the time. It's still fairly early. Is the sun out? Looking through the curtains, it appears the clouds still haven't fully subsided. There's still a light shower outside. I turn to see Yuri has mysteriously vanished. Pfft, okay. Huh? I smell food. No, I just have a very stuffy nose. I quickly get up and start my normal routine. Brushing my teeth, I realize how stupid I look in this kimono. No, you look perfectly fine. Especially since we saw it a bit in the image. This looks perfectly normal. I walk downstairs into the living room. Good morning, John. Yuri is hovering over the stove, a pan sizzling atop it. What? No darling this time? Yuri doesn't respond, but I can tell by her blushing cheeks that she heard me. I sit down at the table and Yuri follows, plates in hand. I start to dig into my breakfast. So, what are the plans for today? Well, I talk with my mouth full. I was drinking. I was thinking we could go to the pharmacy to pick up your prescription. Then after that we can return to that one spot from yesterday and have a picnic. Yuri smiles ear to ear. That sounds really nice. Yeah, that's why I came up with it. Oh, give me a second. Oh god, what's going on upstairs? I hope it's not... You can't hear that. That's scary. I once read a horror manga down here. I'm currently in the lowest floor. And I was reading a horror manga and all of a sudden some weird noises came from the walls. Good god, I was in a call with friends because I was just the whole time like, I hear something. Because I've never heard this noise before. If it was a voice, that would be even more concerning. I hope the weather clears up though. I take another bite of my food. Still chewing, I give her a big nod. John, I had something I wanted to do as well, if it's okay with you. I hope everything's fine upstairs. I'll have to check up on that later. Of course, what is it? I wanted to throw out my knife collection. This comes as a shock to me. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Not really, to me. I guess since Yuri seems to be fine with it, but generally I don't... When you know someone who self-harms and tends to be with a specific object, don't just suggest completely removing this object from them. That's not a good way to handle it, really. You can maybe suggest it if you want to, but if that person shows signs of resistance, then at the very least suggest it slower. Although I suppose they did wait a little bit. But still, this doesn't feel right at all. I think that's a great idea. Really? Are you sure you're ready to do it? If I want to get better, I have to throw out all temptation. It will be hard to get rid of the collection I've worked so hard for. But I think it will be a good way to end this chapter of my life and open a new, brighter one. I'm happy to hear that, Yuri. We'll continue to eat in silence. I'm sniffing the food, guys. I don't know how to whistle. Me neither. Pardon? I thought I'd break the silence with a fun fact about myself. I don't know how to whistle either. I can't whistle. I've never been able to all my life. Me neither. I've tried as hard as I can. Looked it up. Asked other people. Still can't whistle. Same. Just thought I'd share one of my weird quirks. I take another bite of my food. When I watch TV, I always put the volume on an even number. I let out a chuckle. Nice fun fact. What? It bothers me if the volume is on an odd number. I try to, when there's like a visible number for anything, for like volume, like it is with my headphones. Although I'm pretty sure you can see it. Right now I can't see it either for some reason. Whatever. But yeah, there are, it does, specific numbers bother me for no apparent reason. I can watch it with the volume levels, even at the very least of multiple of 5. I have no idea why. I've just always been like that. I can't help but smile. So, there's my fun fact. That's cute. Yuri turns beet red. Alright, here's another one. When my shoelaces are untied, I always announce that my shoes are untied. I have no idea why, and it makes absolutely no sense. I'll just say, oh, my shoe's untied, and then I'll bend down and tie them. Doesn't matter if I'm alone or in public either. You looks at me as if I'm some sort of psychopath. Honestly, that's something I've seen a lot of people do. But then she says, that's cute. Now it's my turn to blush a little. Okay, now your turn. Let's see. Whenever I'm walking, I'll accidentally drag my foot whilst taking a step. I'll then purposefully drag the other foot as well. As if my mind is trying to balance out my body or something. I've always found it very strange. I have no idea why I do it. I don't know if it could be labeled as some form of OCD or perhaps something else. Sometimes that's just something weird. I'd say you're just weird, yeah. We share a laugh and continue our meals. I check the time. Of course, if there are a lot of weird symptoms lining up and that they all appear to be signs of something, but sometimes there is just, as far as I know, although I don't know if my therapist ever tried to give me any type of diagnosis. I have never been diagnosed with anything, really, all that much aside from seasonal depression. I showed signs, I said. And before I go to bed, there's like a room next to me, the bathroom, and I always sit up straight and stare at it for a minute while in my bed before I can go to sleep because I want to make sure that the light is turned off. I stare at it and check all the lights, like, is there any little sign that there is light on in there? There usually isn't. I check the time. We should start getting ready. We can get to the pharmacy early, come back, throw out your knife collection, then we have the rest of the day to do whatever. Very well. I'll go get dressed. Yuri comes down looking as beautiful as ever. Ready to go? Yes, let's go. Yuri and I arrive at the pharmacy. Same spot as... maybe it's like next to the therapist. Psychiatrist. I don't know. I will just say... How can I help you? I look at Yuri. Prescription for Yuri. Can I get a last name? Yes, it's... Oh, my shoe's untied. I looked down and realized my left shoelaces were undone. I get down on one knee. Loop the loop, pull, and your shoes are looking cool. I stand back up. Here you go. The pharmacist hands Yuri a bag with a bottle of pills in it. Yuri checks the tag to clarify that's the right prescription. You want to take your dosage twice a day, so every 12 hours. Thank you. You're welcome. The pharmacist gives us a big smile. Is that it? A flash glances between the two of them. Do you have any other questions? No, I think I understand everything. Thank you again. My pleasure. Wait, that last one was just mumbled. The pharmacist has some some bubble gum in their mouth. There you go. I take Yuri's hand and we exit the building. It's oddly convenient that everywhere we go is in downtown. Alright, Yuri. How about we head back to your house and go through your knife collection? Yuri takes a moment to ponder this. It's obvious she doesn't share my enthusiasm about removing her collection. Oh, who would have guessed? Perhaps it holds a more emotional connection than I thought. Oh my god! I hope he is intended to be an idiot. I really hope so. That sounds like a good idea, John. That's my specialty. Having good ideas? No, being called John. You're good at neither. We arrived back at Yuri's house. Yuri's upstairs. She said she wanted to change into something more comfortable. I'll just sit here and wait. Oh no. I reached into my pocket and grabbed my phone. I wonder who it's from. It's an unknown number. I hope you're enjoying your break. Wait. This is the same person who was sending me those weird texts a few weeks back. I type a response. What do you want? You know what I want. Yet you still haven't given it to me. This is ridiculous. I don't know what you want, so just leave me alone or I'll call the police. You don't have to worry about that. My plan is already in motion. Plan? What the hell does that mean? John? Ah! I turned around to see Yuri behind me. Is everything okay? Yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. I slid my phone back into my pocket. I just dozed off watching for you, so you scared me a little. My apologies. It's alright. You ready now? Okay. We head upstairs. We enter her bedroom. We take a seat on the floor. Yuri reaches under the bed and pulls out a briefcase-sized wooden box. She pops the latches and the top flings open. My sparkle in amazement. There's a plethora of all kinds of knives, range from pocket knives to butterfly knives, needle points, tanto points, straight backs. It's not just a type of knives either. They're all exotic with their own unique design and color. Wow. That's all I can say in this moment. I never thought I'd use the word beautiful to describe a knife. Oh, you would be surprised. How could you even acquire items like these? I must ask, but Yuri speaks up first. They're beautiful, aren't they? She took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. I thought she may have had just a few pocket knives. This is pretty incredible, though. This one is my favorite. She picks one up. It's solid steel with light blue and waves etched into it. Oh. I watch her twirl it around in her thin fingers. Would you like to hold one? I nod. Yuri carefully hands me the knife like a sensei handing his pupil a sword. I hold the knife in my dominant hand. It's a lot heavier than I thought. As I turn it around, its light blue blade reflects the light. Out of curiosity, I run my thumb perpendicular to the blade. It's sharp. You seem to handle it pretty well, though. I wouldn't say that. More so, I just have the common sense not to prick my finger on the point of a knife. No, other you would disagree with you, but honestly, I kind of prefer other you a little bit. Because it sounds like they're trying to make you smarter, and they're still making you have such stupid ideas. Yo continues to examine me, examining the blade. You know, John, for a long time, these were the only things I had. There was a time where I'd just given up on love. And then you showed up. And you showed me I don't need these things. I felt the same way about myself. That there was no one out there for me. I would just live my life playing video games and be fine with it. But that day when I looked into your eyes, I knew that everything would be okay. How much do you love me, John? Huh? I asked how much you love me. Well, that's an unexpected question. I suppose I love you 3,000. 3,000? Yeah. That's a big number. That's just how much I love you. Yuri blushes bright red. That was really cheesy, John. It ain't easy being cheesy. Also, don't pretend you didn't like it. No, I suppose we dumped these. Out of nowhere, a ringing cut through the air. Hello? Yuri's expression breaks. She turns wide-eyed and pale as if she'd seen a ghost. Is everything okay? Yuri shoots up into her feet. We have to go. Now! What's going on? She grasps my hand and we rush out of her house. What happened? Here I am, sitting in a hospital hall. I don't really remember running here. The hospital isn't exactly close by, so I don't even know how we got here. I'm exhausted and I can't even keep up with how many thoughts are racing through my mind. Yuri still hasn't told me what's going on. She tried explaining it, but she stuttered and talked so fast it was incomprehensible. Suddenly a small pink figure enters my peripheral. Natsuki? Natsuki, you okay? What happened? Sayori. I feel like a knife is twisting into my chest. My words are spoken softly. What about Sayori? Natsuki talks slowly in between sobs. I walked into the house. I was going to make some dinner and I called her down and she wasn't answering me. I went up to her room and then knocked. She still wasn't responding, so I gently opened the door and what? What did she see? Where's Sayori? It's okay, Natsuki. I've been so lost this entire time I forgot Yuri was still here. Just breathe in and out. Natsuki, what happened next? Sayori hanged herself. I fell back into my seat. The knife twists deeper into my chest. I can't breathe. I can't believe what I just heard. I want to deny it. I want to pretend it's some sick joke. That none of this is real. I think back to my last interaction with Sayori. I think of my childhood friend. That bubbly girl that always smiled and always made other people happy. Yet I couldn't make her happy. This is all my fault. I know what you're doing. I look back at Natsuki. Stop blaming yourself. It's not your fault. Yes, it is. If you knew the whole story, you would know this is all because of me. John. Yuri puts her hand on my shoulder, but I smack it away. Don't touch me! Neither of you can understand. I just need to think. A doctor approaches us with a sour face. You are Sayori's friends, correct? Yes. We've come into contact with her parents. They're on their way, but it will be some time until they arrive. You kids should go home. We'll take care of her. Is she going to be okay? I'm no longer listening. I just sit there with my head down, thinking about everything I could have done to change this. The doctor and the girls keep talking, but it's all muffled sounds to me. The voices have been drowned out by my own thoughts. But there's one word that I make out. A word that pounds on all the edges of my mind. Coma. Turning burnt pages. Act 3. Few days have passed again. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. Ever since I heard about Sayori, I haven't left my house. The only time I leave my bed is to eat and use the bathroom. Mainly the latter, as I rarely choose to eat. The pain from my empty stomach is the only thing I feel anymore. I can't believe I couldn't save my best friend. I was the only person who could, and I chose not to. Several soft pounds on my door. I don't respond. Yuri's muffled voice comes from the other side of the door. John, please come out. It's the same line every day. And every day I refuse to move. I failed everyone. I can't show my face to anyone, or I risk bringing them only pain. Please, you have to believe it wasn't your fault. Lies. It's all lies. She wasn't there when Sayori handed me her heart. She wasn't there when I crushed it and dropped it onto the floor. You can't just stay in your room for the rest of your life. You have to come out and talk to me. Please just listen to me. Doesn't she understand I don't want to be helped? Help is for people who deserve it. Very well then. Don't talk to me. I just wanted to give you this. A paper slides underneath my door threshold. I lay in my bed for a while before getting up. I pick up the piece of paper. Well, that's a change in atmosphere. A bird in the sky. A human can never understand how a bird feels. A bird has wings that allow it to soar highly. But a human can never truly understand that feeling. A human can only go so high with their own being. We look up at the blue sky with envy, with hope to experience the feeling of true freedom. Like a bird that soars to the sky, and the bird may never be able to understand the feeling of us. While it may be on the ground for a moment, it can take off on its own accord. So we look up into the sky with curiosity and hope that we may one day feel as weightless as a bird. Message-wise, maybe Sayori, but structure-wise, I think it's interesting how people struggle with Sayori's structure when it's a very, even in the percentage poem at the end, there's this kind of structure still in there. She has a similar structure in every poem, and the others do not. So I feel like it would have been the most quote-unquote easy one to maybe get behind. But you got my feelings wrong. When I think of birds, I just think of my budgies, and for a moment I think, wow, you have it so easy. You don't have to go outside and do like school work and whatever. And then I remember that in return they're very easily scared. Like when something drops, or when someone gets up, or when someone carries something, they can't comprehend what it is and get so deathly scared. So honestly, their life isn't easy. It's just a different type of struggle they always have to go through, day after day. Every time I try to get something out of a stuck like cupboard or something. Huh. Yuri's poems are usually very symbolic and cryptic, but I have no issue deciphering this one. This poem has to be about Yuri and me. I represent the bird that can fly to its heart's content, and she looks at me with envy. No, that's... Can you not identify... Oh wait, what? I confused the handwriting there. I confused the handwriting and theme for a second. Well then, you now have a Yuri poem with the Sayori. How did I manage to confuse those handwritings? And here I am talking about the structure of poems. Well, I completely forget the theme and the handwriting of Yuri. But yeah, it was different to her usual style. But it's acknowledged here. Why did I think it was Sayori? I think my brain just automatically assumed that you was trying to give us from Sayori to help us understand something. And so I completely ignored everything else. With its structure-wise it does come closer to Yuri than Sayori. Message-wise it could still be in relation to Sayori. I actually interpret it as like a Sayori poem first due to that. Probably. Whoopsie daisy. Even with everything I've done, she still holds me highly. But why? I wipe a stray tear from my eye, and at the threshold I can spot a shadow. I slowly turn the knob. Yuri bows through and crashes into me. Crashes. I stumble and somehow seat us onto my bed. She grips me tightly and cries into my chest. John. I wrap my arm around her. She lightly pounds onto my chest. Don't you ever do that again! For my sake. She stares at me blankly, and then goes back into burying her face in my chest. I thought I lost you. I'm sorry, Yuri. You see, now that I'm just a failure. Don't say that! Please don't say that. She continues to stare at me. I meet her gaze. Her soft lavender eyes, red from tears, pierce into my own. Why are you here? Like you said to me, when you love someone, you don't give up. Because giving up is too devastating. Love. Such a stupid and confusing word. The word that caused all of this. Yet I can't get it out of my head. The poem you wrote. Is that really how you feel? Yuri nods. She's not crying anymore. I was lost in my own little world. I had pushed everyone away, thinking it would be better, but I was only imprisoning myself. But you're strong. You can do anything. And you showed me how I can be like that as well. I'm not who you think I am. You've placed me on this high pedestal I can never reach. Look at me, Yuri. Look at what I've caused. Yuri places her hand on my cheek. It's warm and soft. Mountains cannot rise without earthquakes. Don't let this moment define who you are. I continue to stare deeply into her eyes. Maybe she's right. I've been beating myself up because of what happened to Sayori. I've become what I've been trying to help others avoid. You helped me. It's my turn to help you. You don't have to suffer alone anymore. That statement, I break down. I no longer hide my feelings. You and I both begin to stream tears. We sit there in silence, holding each other. Oh, I got you something. What? Yuri exits the room. She quickly returns. She pulls out a bag from behind her back. What is this? Just something. A thank you gift. For everything you've done. You didn't have to do that. I know. Yuri gives me a soft smile. I begin to reach inside the bag. I feel something solid. It feels like a block of wood. I pull it out. It's an old portable radio. I found it in an antique store downtown. I thought it was cute, and I know how much you like music. I run on my hands along the edges of it until I reach its dials. Click. If you love me, let me go. Click. Hey there, Delilah, what's it like? And click. Fallen angel in the dark. Never thought you'd fall so. Click. You're my Wonder Woman. I look back up at Yuri. Thank you. There's more. More? I reach back into the bag again. I pull the item out. It's a picture frame with a portrait of Yuri. I'm not very good with gifts. The girlfriends normally give portraits of themselves to their boyfriends. Not usually in this context, but it doesn't matter. I love it. And I love you. Yuri slides next to me and rests her head on my shoulder. I stare at her. Love. Still such an odd word to me. Every time it exits my mouth, I feel strange. But I'll continue to tell it to Yuri. Because this is the girl I fell in love with.